Hey there Subaru owners, today we're going to be installing Curts Class 3 2-inch trailer hitch receiver on our 2019 Subaru Outback Wagon. And now with your new hitch installed, you'll be the envy of the trailhead as you're taking your bikes off of your bike rack at the back while everybody's fiddling around in their trunk. You're only going to be able to see the receiver here at the back as the cross tube's completely hidden behind the bumper. It's a Class 3 2-inch by 2-inch receiver, so it's going to be great for all of your towing needs, whether you're hauling a trailer or just a bike rack or cargo carrier. It uses a 5/8 inch hitch pin and clip. Now one doesn't come with the hitch, but you can pick one up here at etrailer.com. It also utilizes hoop style safety chain loops, which has a very large opening, so it should accommodate just about every shape and style of safety chain. It features a 600-pound tongue weight, that's the force going down on top of the receiver, and a 4,000-pound gross towing capacity. That's how much you can pull behind it. You do want to verify in your vehicle's owner's manual to ensure you don't exceed any of its towing capacities. Now I've got some measurements for you to help you when deciding on accessories. From the ground to the top inside of the receiver tube, it's going to measure about 15 inches. This is important when determining if you need to drop, rise, or raise shank on any of your accessories. And from the center of the hitch pin hole to the edge of the rear bumper, it measures about 3 inches. This is important when determining if any of your folding accessories can be placed in the upright storage position without contacting the bumper. We'll begin our installation at the back of the vehicle by opening our lift gate and then removing both the passenger and driver's side taillight assemblies. Remove the Phillips head screws that are located in each assembly. They're just going to pop out, and then it's actually a push pin that you can pull out afterwards. Now we can remove the plastic trim piece that is located on the side of our taillight assembly, and there are 2 bolts we're going to remove behind that panel. We'll use a 10mm socket to remove those. You could also use a large Phillips head screwdriver. We can now pull our taillight assembly out. You want to pull rearward and it'll just pop out. We can disconnect the electrical connectors by pressing in on the release tab and then pulling outward. And then there's 2 bulb sockets. You'll just want to twist those counterclockwise and pull those out. We're going to repeat this same procedure on the other side to remove our other taillight assembly. Now we can continue removing our bumper. On each side you're going to have a small tab you're going to pop out to reveal a bolt below. We're going to remove that with the same 10mm socket or large Phillips screwdriver. We're going to do that on the other side as well. Now we're inside of our fender wells here. We're going to need to remove the screws and push pins that are along the edge here. And if you have a mud flap on it like we do, there's a pin a little bit further inside behind the tire that's going to have to come out as well. To remove the push pin, you'll want to use a flat-bladed screwdriver to get behind the center piece, pry it out, and then you can just pull that pin out. We'll do that with all the remaining pins. Here's the pin on the inside if you have mud flaps installed on your vehicle. There's one pin that's different towards the top. To remove this one, you'll push in the center with a screwdriver, and then the rest of the pin can be popped out with a trim panel tool or a flat-bladed screwdriver. There's also 2 screws that we'll need to remove with a Phillips head screwdriver. You may need to have a bit with a small ratchet to get between the tire and your inner fender here. Once you've removed all the hardware on this side, you're going to do the exact same thing on the other side. You can set your mud flap aside. We'll be reinstalling it later. We're now underneath the vehicle. Now we are using a lift here. We know you're going to be in your garage at home, but this is going to be plenty simple to do, just laying down underneath. We just need to remove the push pins that go on the outer perimeter underneath. These are going to work just like the other ones. You'll want to pop out the center, and then you can remove the entire pin. You'll have a total of 2 on each side and 3 in the center. Now that all the fasteners have been removed, we can start pulling our bumper beam off. You're going to start on one side and work on the edge, pulling it outward. Once you get one side released, go to the other side and do the same thing. And now you can work it off. Just pull rearward. You are going to have to get it in just the right spot to pop free. And now we can come towards the center and pull it away. Now you don't want to go all the way off until you check for electrical connectors underneath. And we have some here on our driver's side that we're going to need to remove. So we'll follow it over to our connector here. Disconnect it. And now we can set our bumper aside where it won't get damaged. Now you can remove the foam guard on your bumper beam, and this will expose the bolts behind it here. We can now use a 14mm socket to remove all the nuts holding on our bumper beam. There'll be 4 on each side. You'll likely need an extension in order to reach all of these. If you don't have an extension, you can use a short socket with a ratchet to get in there as well. I like to leave the last one on one side on, just to make sure the bumper beam doesn't fall off when I'm taking off the other side. I just kind of leave it a couple threads on there. And now we can take our bumper beam off and set it aside. You can now set your hitch into place. It's going to slide over the studs where your bumper beam used to be. The bumper beam is going to clamp the hitch into place. And it will be held there using the factory hardware. So we're just going to reinstall all those nuts now. And we can now tighten and torque all of our hardware to the specifications found in our instructions. Now before we can reinstall our bumper, we're going to need to cut it out per our instruction. To do this, you can use a pair of tin snips or a rotary cutting tool. And now we can reinstall our fascia. Make sure you plug in your electrical connections before putting it in place. And also make sure that you put the foam pad onto your bumper beam. It kind of wants to fall off, so you kind of got to make sure you hold it there while you're putting this on. And this will just snap back into place, and then you can reinstall all your fasteners that hold it on. Make sure you don't pinch your taillight wiring when you're reinstalling it. And now with all of our fasteners installed and our taillight assemblies reinstalled as well, your installation is complete of Curt's Class 3 2-inch trailer hitch receiver on our 2019 Subaru Outback Wagon.